Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hearthstone. So, I did some stuff off screen now, and we need to get one Hunter victory, one Shaman or Warlock victory, and play 4 minions. Shouldn't take too long, but I wonder if it is. Let's just start with Shaman here. That's what I was playing off screen. Trying to play ranked here. We are now trapped pretty much for the rest of our lives into playing ranked, unless I just give up on wild play or give up on standard play, or just give up on trying to get any ranked ever on anything.
You asked for it.
Which would really suck. You want to get at least a card back. That's ridiculous to play for a month and not even have the get the 20 to get the card back. Everything else is pretty much useless, just tiny pittances. But yeah, I have a hard time thinking, like, how am I gonna have time to play arena play? Really? At all? How do you play arena play while you're also doing everything else? Let's see. I want to get as many of these guys up and going as fast as possible when playing the Shaman deck. So what else is on the news? The Witcher 3 is coming out with a Game of the Year edition. Okay, that's good. Maybe in a couple of years I'll spend the money to get the Game of the Year edition on Steam. Then it would save me a small amount for the fact that I was given it for buying a video card on Good Old Games. There was an article comparing storefronts, and one of the things that's interesting there that I picked out, there's really only 3 storefronts that they compared, and then they started going to things like G2A and some other stores that have been talked about where you sell keys and trade keys, and that's not really a storefront as it is just a reseller of used products. There's this like electronics store that got in trouble for doing this scam where they'd buy like broken things and then send them off to be refurbished, and then sell the refurbished thing as new or something like that. I don't understand the full concept of the scam, but apparently the police did because they caught him rather quickly.
Let's make magic.
And that's what the G2A key seller things feels like. It feels like a pawn shop. It feels like there's something fishy here, that they probably are receiving stolen goods. But the one thing that was interesting is, besides the obvious that Steam really is the only option, GOG in the future may be an option, but right now isn't. But the Humble Store, I think it was Humble Store, gives a slightly better breakdown to publishers. They give 75% of the money brought in, gross. Gross being the amount of money just off the top, to the publisher, where Steam only does a 70-30 split. In comparison to ad revenue on YouTube, it's probably less than 50-50 on YouTube. I don't even know what it is if they even tell you. They probably don't tell you. They probably just say, here's what you get and that's it. We're not telling you the percentage of whatever that would be. So I could play 1 and like get that up 1. I don't think that helps them. So I'm just gonna end the turn there. So yeah. So I suppose if you really wanted to support the publisher, your best bet would be to go through the Humble Store, and then they would get don't know if the Humble Store always gives you Steam
Did you
keys
bring
or does
some fish?
something different. Or what?
Job's done.
But slightly interesting. I saw an article about the best sales that Steam has ever done. Apparently, I was fooling myself to see that some things were 95% off. The good games don't ever seem like they get above 90%. Like one of the best sales ever was 91% off a year later. A lot of the AAA title games, as I call them, and I was listening to a conversation about that, so I'll probably get back to what I mean by AAA and independent. Let's see. And I lost. Wow. Not even paying enough attention to know what went wrong there. I have no idea. Let's Hunter. This time. Yeah, things being off, like, it doesn't really happen. 6 months down the line, at best, you're gonna get a AAA game half off 6 months later. In the Tomb Raider's case, and if this continues to be an issue, which it probably won't because Microsoft is now making everything cross-buy with Windows 10, so buying it on Xbox One gives you Windows 10 store copy of the game with all its problems of being a Windows 10 store copy of a game. Ideally, I'd like them to take the next step, which they'll never do, and just say buying it gives you a Steam code.
Job's done.
But I doubt that's going to happen anytime soon, and the only way I could foresee something like that actually happening is if Valve bought Microsoft or Microsoft bought Valve, and I don't think either one of those companies are big enough, financially stable enough to do that. Speaking of financially stable, that was one of those stories. Ubisoft still trying to stop Vivendi, who owns the Universal Music Group, so I have a bias against them now that I've realized that. They're trying to stop Vivendi from buying them, which Vivendi bought Activision Blizzard for a short time, and then Activision Blizzard spent like $8 million or $8 billion to purchase itself away from them and be somewhat independent, although Activision and Blizzard are kind of this combination of companies that at one time were independent of each other too. These things happen. But to try to stop Vivendi from taking control, they're going to bring up electing 2 more members of the board. This is a board stacking plan. I believe one of the US presidents attempted something similar where he proposed giving himself the right to put as many members on the Supreme Court as possible, and to match how many the Supreme Court judges that were ratified and voted in by the Congress and Senate. Is it both of them that ratify Supreme Court judges? I think it is, but it might not be. It'd be really odd if there was something Congress did and the Senate didn't do. But there might be some small thing that happens there. The way it works right now, if you're not from the United States, or more likely you are from the United States and thus were not educated in your own political system properly, is the president picks whoever he wants to be a judge, nominates them, and then they have to be ratified officially through the Congress and Senate, I believe. See, I was educated in the United States and I don't even know the exact system of it. Although I'm pretty sure what I said was 99% accurate. course, if the president can just put as many people on there, and say there was 6 Supreme Court judges sitting, and he knew they were going to vote against him, he would just put 7 new guys on that he knew would vote with him, and thus any vote would pass, because I think all Supreme Court decisions are just majority rules. I wonder what happens if they go into a tie. I think if they go into a tie, it just is the previous ruling stands, because the Supreme Court never covers anything that hasn't been covered by a lower court already, usually. Alright, do I want to kill this guy, or do I want to just end the turn? Let's just end the turn. So, what was I going to talk about as far as... There was something I was going to talk about, and I brought it up until I get back to it. I don't know if I really covered the Counter-Strike Go thing. Obviously some YouTubers are corrupt. At least a few of them have been blatantly, obviously proven to it. Is it going to end up with more like legal disclosure necessary on YouTube videos? Not particularly, because the laws are already there. I personally, for myself, the only time I need to disclose anything, because I don't invest in anything, it would be unprofessional and stupid to invest in anything related to video games. Now, I do have a retirement plan, so in theory, my retirement plan, not to my knowledge, has invested in some company related to video games, but I don't know that connection. So, I don't look at every single stock a portfolio buys, and frankly, nothing I could say would ever, in a million years, increase the value of a company that would then affect me even 1 penny. But I do get free games, or at least I used to for a short stint there. I don't know if I really do it much more. A lot of the stuff on my Twitter things revolve around entering contests. I'm following like 400 people, and I went through the list and I was like, how many of these people have I muted? And it's a considerable amount of people I've just muted. So I would highly recommend nobody follow everybody I'm following just because I'm following it. That's ridiculous. I follow a lot of video game creators and video game related people, and a lot of them are annoying. A lot of people just want to use the system to post unrelated things about their life, which I guess is their prerogative, but it's not interesting to me. Like everybody else in the world, I'm super disenfranchised with Facebook. It's so ridiculous. I desperately need somebody to talk to about video games, though. It really has gotten bad.
We're gonna be rich.
As I've gotten older, everybody who I used to talk about video games, like when I was in middle school and high school, you could talk to at least your group of people about video games all the time, and never really have a reason that we have to stop talking. But everybody I've known has grown apart and changed and had kids and gotten jobs that keep them way too busy, and it's just like, oh, nobody's talking about video games. Or the few hardcore people that are still talking about video games are talking about Overwatch and Call of Duty and just the ones that I'm super uninterested
Job done.
in. Let's see. Can he beat me? If he can do one more or two more damage, well, one more damage, he can beat me.
I bring life.
Can I beat him? I don't think I can. Nope, I've lost. I've got now not really talking about my channel, but I've got now on my channel a default subscribe watermark on my channel. I should have done this a long time ago. Sadly, I kept holding out for my artist to actually get one that had my logo to work, and that's obviously not gonna happen ever at this rate. So again, I need a new artist. I need somebody. I mean, frankly, if somebody sent me something and just said this is the one time I'm gonna do this for you, or I'll do it whenever I feel like it, it would be more progress than what I'm getting now. It's like, I wish I had any art skill at all. So by default now it's just a YouTube subscribe button, which doesn't really brand my channel at all, but it does have something somebody can click on to subscribe. And right now I've got it set to go the full length of the video, which I feel is annoying. I feel that pain, but I also would like to really speed up the number of subscriptions. I'm getting a decent amount of subscriptions every rolling 7 days, maybe one, maybe two. So it's growing. It's a lot faster than the going weeks and weeks without getting any. That's true, but I'd like to get up to 100, 200, 300, 400, 1,000. Some good subscribers is ideally what you want, but I'll just take bad subscribers too, just to get the numbers up there. There was a recent bug with YouTube where there was a bunch of fake subscribers or something. YouTube doesn't seem to even know, and so everybody lost like a good percentage of their subscribers, except for me. Which I guess if I lost like 1% of my subscribers, that wouldn't be one subscriber. But I heavily suspect a lot of the super busy channels, a lot of the channels that got popular, had either through the channel creators' own plotting or just through randomness, had a lot of bots, had a lot of people subscribe, and I bet a lot of them have, a lot of the big channels have people that just don't ever watch any of their videos. Now I heard somebody say that one of the channels they were talking about, I think this was Total Biscuit talking about, it's like, what do you think makes YouTube channels fail? And he said one reason is posting too much, like posting every hour and people don't subscribe. Maybe that's true. I don't know how much I can change my channel from that though. I feel like I am tipping at the tip of the iceberg for things like that. I think it is fair to say that releasing things at 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think I have anything at 8. I do think I have something at 3, and if I have anything new, I put it at usually 2. It's going a lot further than the 3 to 4 hours of prime time that I was feeling. Particularly if I accidentally record 30 minutes of a series and then end up releasing them as an hour per day, then it's like every 30 minutes. But I haven't had any complaints, so until I hear some complaints, I can't
Job's
act.
done.
I wouldn't want to react to something I haven't even heard a complaint about yet. People may be fine with it. My subscribers in particular may be fine with it. In the same way my subscribers may be fine with the watermark. I don't know. There's 3 options on the watermark. You can have it on the whole time. You can have it at the end of the video with no real duration there. So it's just at the end of your video. I don't know for how long. Whatever YouTube picks. Or you can have it at the beginning of your video for a custom time. Which, let's see, if I was watching my my audience retention, on average, people watch my videos for 3 minutes, so it wouldn't be an insane thought to say I should have 3 minutes, have it on for 3 minutes when I decide to, I have enough subscribers or people complain too much about it. If you have it on a small screen, so if you're watching it like on a cell phone and you don't turn it to landscape mode, you won't even see the watermark. So it has to be at least a certain height requirement there before it shows up.
Job's done.
And again, I want branding there too. I don't mind if it says subscribe and all that, but I wanted to say Rydo. Yeah. It's kind of interesting when I search Rydo on YouTube too, is that I'm still really the 3rd thing to come up. And there's like another handful of channels that some have almost no subscribers or no videos. But I don't really stand out too much on that either because I have my original logo there, so it's just the black Rydo with the RYDO and then upside down the RYDO drawn in crazy handwriting. It's not very good at all. I really thrive and I want to strive to improving that a lot, but that's all on the artist. That's the problem. I can't do it myself. I just can't. What I can do is play games, and I'm struggling to even keep that up at the pace that I would like to have kept it up to. I don't know how I'm gonna pull my channel down less. I can stop doing Lego and kids games, which would be a mistake since I just bought all the humongous games, but I could potentially spotlight some of those, and some of them at least I probably am gonna just spotlight because if they're educational games
The
or
shadows
something like
beckon.
that, there's no real reason. Turns out Humongous went bankrupt and was owned by another company, so they just recently got it back on Steam, and it's missing like all the backyard baseball, backyard football series of it, so it's not even all the games there. Not that that really matters. It's just other minions plus 1 attack. The other minions and adjacents. And this guy. And this guy. Hey, look at that! Victory!
I do.
Well, sorry. Actually, I just got a phone call. So how long have we been going? 24 minutes. Didn't quite get this one done. I thought there was something else I was going to talk about, but obviously it wasn't that important. I'll get this done off the screen and we'll just end here. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.